is reality? Reality is what we believe to be true about the nature of our surroundings. But how do we come to decide that true nature? Do we conceive it completely on our own? Or do other devices gently sway our thoughts onto a pre-decided path? This is the hard question we must all ask ourselves as free humans on this planet. Whose skulls rule reality?
Reality. Hey guys, what's up? It's another beautiful Wednesday night here, and the sunny, super secret, undisclosed location, Hampton, Virginia.
It's really nice out.
You got it, Dan?
Yeah.
Hey, so, we took last week off. Had some stuff I had to attend to. I'm sure Dan needed a rest as well.
Yeah.
It's, we're back now, better than ever. We got an explosive show lined up for you tonight. All kinds of crazy UFO stuff, and you got all this stuff going on with the Saudis.
Yeah,
and,
don't call it a coup.
We may have
it might be a coup.
We may get some contact from our field correspondent, the Phantom Spy, about some of the latest rumblings from that whole Podesta deal, and who was the other guy? Manafort.
Yeah.
All that jam, all the latest rumblings from the deep webs.
The deep state. Who's getting arrested this week? Could it, what's it, I thought, what I thought, I didn't even think to post this in the show notes, but I think it's worth mentioning, the thing from Donna Brazil coming out saying how basically, they rigged the whole thing to screw Bernie.
Yeah. She also compared the Hillary Clinton campaign to a cult.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could probably say the same thing for the Donald Trump campaign. It was pretty
for
much a
really
cult
any
too.
political campaign.
Yeah, a bunch of cultists.
Except for Ron Paul.
No, that was a cult too, man.
Man,
there was no
the best.
exclusions. It was a cult. Speaking of Ron Paul,
The best
his
cult
boy
ever.
Rand. What's up with his boy Rand getting jumped?
I mean,
He's mowing the lawn.
apparently he should invest in private security. There's a market solution for that.
Apparently, he's not well liked in the neighborhood, and the homeowners association is always on him about something or another.
But, I mean, how do you know who's the bigger asshole, him or the neighbor, really? I mean...
I'm just saying he had it coming. The guy's a fucking snake in the grass. All right, so first up, what we got here tonight for you guys. Let's take a look, see. World's most famous alien abductee, Travis Walton. Now, this headline...
That's a pretty tall claim, but most people have heard of Fire in the Sky.
Right,
right. So he's pretty well known.
Okay, let's see here. Hey, look at me. It's been a week. I forgot all the buttons already. Jeez. Is this it?
It's almost like you got mind wipe primed.
Hey, there we go. So I was taken. World's most famous alien abductee, Travis Walton, slams skeptics, claiming 16 lie detector tests prove his story is true. I mean, that's a lot of damn lie detector tests. I mean, this dude got something to prove. He takes 16 goddamn lie detector tests. And I wonder if he ever went through the more specialized one that read the retinas and heart rate and all that kind of shit. Like Elena, for a little while, one of the SSP whistleblowers, was trying to put something together to get tested like that. I mean, it was all kind of in response to the whole stuff that was going on with Corey Good. But you want to know about that, you can go back about 6 months in the archives. Check it out. So Travis, who cops thought had been murdered, believed he was taken into a spacecraft by extraterrestrials before being returned to Earth 5 days later. So yeah, this is the Fire in the Sky story. The man involved...
I mean, was he, you got to wonder if he wasn't just being detained at some secret military facility.
Hey, man, that could be some kind of possibility there. It's going to be some type of military abduction test. Who knows, man? The man involved in one of the most infamous alien abduction cases of all time has hit out at skeptics and non-believers, saying 16 separate lie detector tests taken by himself and witnesses to the unexplained 75 incident prove his story is true. Okay, so he didn't take 16 lie detector tests. He's using other witnesses' tests as well. I'm sure he probably took several, though. Let's see what else it says. Let's move on here. Travis Walton disappeared without a trace after he and the crew of loggers he worked with claimed to have seen a huge UFO in the forest they were working in. So you remember
Big
in the
ball
movie,
light floating over the lake.
Yeah, I mean, this is, if you've seen the movie Fire in the Sky, which if you're watching the show, you probably have.
Or at least heard of it.
This is the dude. Originally, crew members were suspected of murder, but Travis reappeared 5 days later, saying he had been taken into a spacecraft by alien creatures. The Data Force says he has spent the past 40 years defending himself against those trying to discredit him, and has even written a book debunking every alternate theory to what happened to him. The 64-year-old who says the incident is still fresh in his mind, I bet it would be.
Seriously.
Did you see that movie? That shit was disturbing, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, he told the Sun Online it was important to share his story because the public have a right to know what's out there. Amen to that. I believe that wholeheartedly.
That's why we do what we do, right?
Exactly. Travis, a logger in the mountains of Arizona, was leaving work on November 5th. Okay, so this is almost an anniversary thing here. 1975, this was this past Sunday, would have been the anniversary. With 5 crew members in a truck when the alleged incident took place. They saw some glimmers of light through the trees and pulled up, thinking it was a fire. When we pulled into the light, we had a straight view. It was unmistakable. I yelled, "Stop!" And one of the guys in the back said, "It's a spaceship or a flying saucer." It was less than 100 feet away, Travis said. So there's the guy.
Big disco ball.
In all actuality, there's the guy. Here's the
big
craft.
disco ball looking spaceship.
Here's the craft he's seeing. See any Nazis in there?
9.
And here's the guy again. He's in a cute little logging outfit.
That looks like stuff you wear when you go logging.
So it's clearly defined metallic disc outlined against the sky and fantastic in the grandeur of it. All the guys in the crew, as frightening as it was, also describe it as being beautiful. It was so perfect. I go out as soon as Mike who was driving, stopped, and I left the door open and went towards it. It was just an impulse. I thought it would be gone by the time I got close. It was immediately alarming to the other guys, and the closer I got, they were yelling at me to get back in the truck. I know, man. Look, I try to put myself in this guy's situation here, in his shoes.
All I'm saying, they probably mind wiped him afterwards, right?
Yeah.
But if he'd upgraded to the Mind Wipe Prime package, then he wouldn't have remembered anything.
Seriously, though, man. Put yourself in this dude's shoes. All right, you're in the back of a pickup truck with your buddies, right? Your work buddies. And you're moving out to the job site, and you see this UFO. Do you go to it, or do you, like the other 4 guys, hey, man, get the fuck back in the truck?
Yeah, I think I'd be like, hey, get the fuck back in the truck.
I don't know, man. I can't say that I wouldn't go to it. I wouldn't, like, I don't know. Maybe I'd just check it out from the truck. I wouldn't get on it, not willingly, but I don't know, man. So it was just an impulse. I thought it would be gone by the time I got close. It was immediately, okay, yeah. Later they said it looked like I was in a trance, but looking at them, it seemed like they were in a trance too.
Oh, hang on,
Here's a map of the place.
There's a map, and if you scroll down, we got a pretty cool illustration of what really went on.
The spaceship began to make loud noises and move, so Travis dived for cover behind a log. He then tried to stand up and run away, but was hit by a strong force and was thrown into the air. When it hit me, it was a stunning force. I did not see this blast of energy, but the men in the crew gave a statement to the sheriff's department and said it looked like a long blue flame. Others compared it to stepping on a landmine or grenade because it threw me through the air. They were immediately certain it had killed me. And there's the beam. Blah! Take that, you fiend!
Fazoop.
I mean, if these really are ETs, there's some asshole ETs, man. You can stay away from these guys.
Yeah.
Fearing for their lives and thinking Travis was dead, the rest of the crew fled to get help. A huge search party involving the sheriff's department, helicopters, ATVs, and men on horseback could not find any trace of Travis. Meanwhile, Travis's account of what he remembers next is even more bizarre. Yeah. He says he awoke from consciousness on a spaceship surrounded by small creatures he believes were aliens. It was very blurry, and I had some double vision, but I could see the outlines of these forms. And I thought they were doctors. But when my vision got clearer, I could see they were not doctors. I just flipped out. He said, yeah, I would probably flip out too, man. See, look, this is the thing. You can't gauge. You know how they want to say that, people aren't ready to know about aliens because they'll flip out or whatever. Being abducted in this way, this is traumatizing. You're going to flip out. But if someone's like, hey, look, there's an alien, and they haven't abducted you and paralyzed you and are performing experiments on you, I don't think it would be the same thing. Anyway, I just had to put that out there.
Yep.
The one that was closest to me, I tried to hit it away, but I felt like I could hardly move my arm. It was more of a push than a hit, because I was so weakened, but the creature felt soft and lighter than I expected. It fell back into one that was standing near it. I backed away and bumped up against a shelf and looked around and saw an array of tools or instruments. And I very quickly just grabbed one and started flailing at him. Yeah. They stopped and stood there staring at me, and that stare was in my nightmares for many years after that. I couldn't tolerate that stare. Some type of psionic attack, possibly.
Sick! Scum!
They stopped and stood there staring at me. Okay. Travis says he managed to escape through a door in a narrow passageway, then into another room with a control panel in it. A human being dressed in what looked like a space helmet and then appeared and took him to a separate room where he was put on a table and given a mask which rendered him unconscious. Whoa. See, I don't remember this part in the movie. Do you remember this part in the movie?
Nope.
A human being dressed in what looked like a space helmet then appeared and took him to a separate room. Wait, what's going on here? So maybe this wasn't ETs at all, guys. I mean, it's been said that
the little guys were just robots.
Exactly. It's been said by a lot of people that a lot of the gray race is, synthetic life forms.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting twist, guys. What do you think about that? The next thing he knew, he was waking up on the road about 15 miles from where he disappeared, just outside the nearest town of Snowflake, Arizona.
Bunch of snowflakes.
Travis, who had no idea he had been gone for 5 days, managed to walk into town where everyone who saw him described him as looking devastated and shell-shocked. The interesting thing is, if he hadn't had broken free of that paralysis and try to shank a freaking alien in his neck, could this have went differently? Would they have returned him? I mean, was he there for 5 days and then got picked up by the human, then was gone, or did all that happen then he was there for 5 days afterwards? I don't know, man. Well,
to be fair, that doesn't exactly seem like the way I would want to make first contact, by knocking you the fuck out and sticking a bunch of probes in your head.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't imagine that to be some type of benevolent race doing that.
No.
Hey, I'm just putting it out there. Who knows? But then the battle to get people to believe his story began, no doubt, man. And Travis was thrust into the world's spotlight. Travis wrote a book about his experience called Fire in the Sky, which was later turned into a movie of the same name. I'm going to have to read that book now. Travis said, from the beginning, it was a battle against people trying to explain it away. The locals didn't want to believe it. The sheriff didn't want to believe it. He thought it was murder and then a drug hallucination. So the sheriff is like, look, you and your little gray men, whatever, you're dope heads, guys. You're dope heads. So he had a whole battery of psychiatric tests, and there was nothing wrong in that department. Drug tests proved there was nothing in my system. And over 40 years later, Travis stands by his story and has taken 5 separate lie detector tests to prove it's true, while witnesses and crew members have taken a total of 11 polygraph tests. That makes up to 16 from the headline. And there's Guy again standing in front of what, SETI? Dan? Says SETI?
Yeah, the Very Large Array.
Yeah. Experts believe there's a 1,000,000 to 1 chance of there being any mistakes in this number of past tests. Speaking at the Devil's Tower UFO rendezvous in Hewlett, Wyoming, Travis said, "I decided to break my silence. I started refuting these things that people have been saying about me and my story. I took each and every theory the skeptics came up with and just blew them out of the water with facts. I am certain I'm not the only one who's been taken. This is absolutely real, and it's important that the general public come to a gradual understanding of that. I'm not trying to shock or amaze or frighten anyone. On the contrary, in relating how frightened I was, I don't want anyone to share that fear." I mean, that movie was freaky,
pretty legit.
man. Like, if that movie was even a semblance of what he went through, man, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
I think it's important for them to realize what happened with me 45 years ago. It was not even an abduction. I entertained that term for a while because that's what I thought people called it, but now I'd say it was more of an ambulance call. That I was injured in a way that would have been fatal, and the aliens had the technology available to help me. Dude. No, dude. You lost me with that, man. What do you think about that? You think they were trying to heal him?
No.
I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
And what's with the human now, man? This is an interesting bit. Kind of works itself in, you know what I mean?
Well,
So-
I mean, that's pretty consistent with, Betty and Barney Hill.
Yeah, that too.
Because they said they saw Grays and then the guy in the Nazi suit. So,
Oh man, speaking of Betty and Barney Hill,
speaking of Betty and Barney Hill,
you're never gonna believe this, man. So we know VR has been becoming pretty popular, right?
Mhm.
So apparently, someone has put together a VR piece of their abduction, and you could actually, like, I'm assuming,
Man,
be
that's
abducted,
freaky.
be abducted by. Oh my God, dude! Could you imagine that? Look, I think I know someone with VR. I'm gonna have to get them to try this out. That's got to be crazy, man.
we gonna abduct you. We gonna abduct you so good. Gonna abduct you all night.
So, all right, this is basically breaking down that affair, which we've covered. We did last year on the anniversary. We did about it. You guys, the story's out there. It's one of the most famous abduction stories. The interracial couple from the 60s. Missing time, space Nazis, freaking psionic aliens, Zeta Reticuli star maps. I mean, you name it. All kinds of crazy shit comes out of this. So, getting to the heart of the matter, Wexler says the story was perfect fit for virtual reality, which has been repeatedly referred to as the empathy machine for its ability to put the user in another's shoes. In its current form, Dinner Party is a 2-part VR experience. In the opening scene, the audience is transported to the Hills' home. The couple entertains guests and prepares the dining room table for dinner until Betty interrupts the festivities with a surprise. She's decided to play the couple's hypnosis tapes for the first time. From there, the viewer is transported to the car on the night of the abduction and experiences the alien encounters as the Hills recall it. Now, I'm very, very
Freaky,
interested.
man, freaky.
I am very, very interested to know if they used Barney's regression tapes at all with this, because if they did, you will virtual reality see Nazis taking you on this ship. Like, no joke.
Well, it makes me wonder how true do they keep it to it.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah,
man.
Exactly.
So the Hill story is the first experience in a series called The Incident, which Wexler and Stout hope will become the twilight zone of the VR era. It's an ambitious project with the support of some influential virtual reality players behind it. The pair developed the concept earlier this week at the Sundance New Frontier Lab, a week-long workshop for artists and storytellers who embrace new technologies. So, and it's coming out of, I guess, the person that helped do Oculus Studio. So if you want to read the rest of that, that was just a quick excerpt of it. That's at Engadget.com.
So they refer to it as the Zeta Reticuli incident. Fun stuff.
Fun. So next up, man, this one's pretty interesting. This is one you found, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You want to read this one?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
So, UFO hunter spots alien mothership on the surface of Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy theorists spotted the
People-
strange object.
People
in
are saying
footage
they
from
see
NASA.
weird shit on the surface of Mars all the time.
Yeah,
so-
true that, but this is pretty interesting.
I mean, it definitely looks like something. It looks kind of like one of the Reavers from StarCraft.
It does not look like a crater. It looks like it's coming up off the surface to me because of the way the shadows are.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, it looks like, it could be like a number of things.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
let's see what they got to say about it.
As soon as we're gonna skip that survey, Google conspiracy theorists. And of course, anytime anybody thinks something is strange, you're instantly a conspiracy theorist for thinking something is strange. Believe that they found proof of a downed alien mothership on the surface of Mars. According to the YouTube channel Paranormal Crucible, the 1.3-mile-long craft is evidence of an alien civilization that crash-landed on the rocky planet. The images from the video were found in footage taken from NASA's Mars Global Surveyor.
You know what kills me about this? It's like right away with the jump into conclusions. You know what I mean? Sure, it could be remnants of an alien civilization.
And in no case,
it could also be a Nazi base. It could also be some other kind of base. It could also be a bunch of fucking rocks. You know what I mean?
No, in no way, shape, or form have we ever done that same sort of jumping to conclusions concerning our Google Images searches of Antarctica.
No, we definitely...
We've never done that with Google Maps, I promise.
No, we don't do that kind of thing. All right, carry on.
All right, so the images in the video were found in footage taken from NASA's Mars Global Surveyor, which surveyed the red planet until 2006, when the space agency lost contact with it. I have processed, colorized, and rebuilt the object, and in my opinion, it is a craft of some kind, possibly tens of thousands of years old, explains the description underneath the video.
Okay, so you can see up at the top there is saying it's the...
Here's the hull,
it's
here's the
propulsion
engine.
system.
Here,
How does he get... I mean,
mean,
really, dude? Really, man?
how do you really know? Some commentators have poured cold water on the theory, insisting it's only a piece of raised ground or a rock formation. But the UFO hunters believe that the channel, or behind the channel, are convinced of its authenticity. The object is too degraded to enhance totally, so I've rebuilt it using points of interest that are shown in the video. The video states it's also over a mile long. So this must have
Pretty
been a
fucking
mothership,
big.
Either a Martian one or possibly an off-planet alien species. But why did it crash?
I mean, but what if it's just like...
Because they let Troy drive. They let the ship's counselor drive.
What if it's just a bunch of debris covering a dome or something, man? I mean, it's a mile long. It could be a base.
Check
Dude,
this
I'm
out.
not seeing it, though. I mean, look at this, what he's got pointing out here. Propulsion system. Ship's hull. Oh, look, hull crash damage. How come
You don't know that. Those could be docking. Those could be like docking bays on the side.
I just don't even think it's a ship at all, man.
Yeah, me either. I mean, I think it's probably just a rock.
I mean, if anything, it's some kind of base. I don't know. Who knows, man?
Yeah,
It's not
see,
like
those look like tunnels that could be dug into a rock.
It's not like I'm a fucking spaceship expert or something. You know what I mean? Oh, no.
Okay, if
that
it,
one's from Orion.
if it were a crater, like think about this: the left side of it.
It's not a crater.
Dude, it could actually be. It could actually be a ravine or even a pingo.
I don't know, man.
You know what a pingo is?
No, I don't.
It's when you get a large quantity of water, or it's Mars, so possibly carbon dioxide, but a large bunch of stuff that freezes beneath the surface, and then when it gets hot enough, the stuff that's under the dirt melts, and then a big hole sinks in. So it's basically a sinkhole.
I just don't understand the shadow then, if that's what it is.
Because the sun is to the west in this picture.
Yeah, it's shining this way.
So the inside of the crater on the right is what's catching sunlight. You see the shadow on the left? That's like flat ground that's depressed. So the left side of the crater is the deep end. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I could kind of see that. But
That's an indentation. That's not something raised up out of the surface. That's my 2 cents. That's what I see. I see a hole.
I still think it looks like it's coming up.
Because if the sun is to the east, then why is all the shit on the shadows around of it?
What
to
do
the
you
right
guys
side?
think? Let us know. You can give us a call at the phone number on the screen.
Yeah, 757-528-8130.
Or you can type it in the chat wherever you're at. Maybe we'll see it. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
You get smoke signals, telepathy, emails.
Telepathy especially,
carrier
man.
pigeons.
That's one of my favorite ways of contacting the show is telepathy. So if you can pull that off, go ahead and do it now.
Hang
All
on.
right, I'll
I'm
be
getting
waiting.
I'm getting a signal. I'm getting a signal.
I'm angry.
Yeah. So, we all know about Rendalsham, right? I think we even
we've
did a
talked
show.
about that before.
I think we even did an entire 2-hour show on this whole ordeal, at least parts of it. Well, some guy has released a book, right? Saying, case closed, guys. I got it. I got it all figured out.
Oh, well, the Grand Poobah of Rendlesham has arrived. Hot damn.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see what he's got to say. Let's see if we can break this down a little bit. And see if, maybe there's something to it, or if the guy's just a cover-up apologist. Exclusive! Britain's most perplexing UFO mystery may have finally been solved after an astrophysicist investigated the 37-year-old unsolved case. Yeah. Andrew Pike, a qualified astrophysicist. So wait. Are they saying... Okay, never mind. Writer and broadcaster specializing in astronomical anomalies and the history of science has penned a new book questioning just what could have happened at 2 U.S. Air Force bases by Rendlesham Forest near Woodbridge, Suffolk, in December 1980. The Rendlesham File, Britain's Roswell. A detailed scientific study of the astonishing 3-day period witnessed by U.S. military personnel. The Rendlesham Legend, which took place around neighboring bases RAF Woodbridge and RAF Bentwaters, has been dubbed Britain's Roswell, and in a nod to the mystery of the UFO crash said to have taken place in the town of New Mexico. We all know what Roswell is. The UK suspected alien event saw 3 U.S. officers based at RAF Bentwaters claim a triangular-shaped craft landed in the neighboring woods in the early hours of December 26th, 1980. After seeing a strange series of lights in the sky in the forest. Which, that's essentially it.
Mm-hmm.
Due to high interest in the case, the British Ministry of Defence, MOD, investigated and concluded Orford Ness Lighthouse had been responsible for what was seen over the 2 nights in terms of glowing orbs. So
It was a lighthouse beam going through fog, suckers.
So the official explanation for this triangular spacecraft that was witnessed landed on the ground, and they got close enough to touch and see alien-looking glyphs on, which later the guy came and said he got some kind of binary download, which links into this other binary download. It's quite interesting. It's a good mystery to dig into if you like that sort of thing, which if you're listening here, you probably do.
Mm-hmm.
So, however, this had not satisfied most UFO investigators. It's because we're never satisfied.
Yeah, we're a contentious lot. Real bunch of curmudgeons.
Yeah. Failing to explain claims of the UFO being on the ground the first night. Mr. Pike concludes in the book that the bizarre light seen may have been a natural phenomena, now wait for it, known as plasma or ball lightning.
It explains a big solid thing sitting on the ground.
This motherfucker wrote a book saying a UFO thing was ball. He wrote a whole book. I mean, come on, that's like the oldest Air Force excuse ever, man.
It's a swamp gas with a weather balloon.
Swamp gas ball
It was
lightning.
swamp gas holding a weather balloon.
So, ball lightning is an unexplained atmospheric electrical phenomena
With some
following
lightning balls.
reports and video footage of luminous, bright, spherical objects from tiny to several meters in diameter that move around in the air. So, ball lightning is an unexplained atmospherical electrical phenomena, right? It coming before bright spherical objects that move around in the air. So maybe this unexplained phenomena actually has to do with the bright spherical objects moving around in the air. I mean, come on, man. Oh, dude, this is killing me, man. Mr. Pike also suggests that the sightings of a triangular craft, wait for it, may have been down to secret military steelcraft experiments using microwave technology rather than anything of extraterrestrial origin, which I can buy to an extent. All right, now we're talking about 1980. Allegedly, the Trebs are supposed to have been phased out in the late 70s, right? This craft, though, is a lot
Phased
smaller.
out. Then what are they using now?
More advanced versions of it. This craft itself, though, is a lot smaller than what the Trebs are described as. TR-3B.
Yeah.
In case you're not familiar with the term Treb, this is what we lovingly call the black triangles that fly around and are under human control. So this triangular-shaped craft is much smaller. I think they were saying 7 foot long or something like that. It was pretty small. Had a little tripod.
It was like a Treb
on.
for gnomes.
It had a little tripod that it landed on, left indentions in the ground. But they saw, the guy remembered seeing strange alien glyphs, like
Martian Smurfs.
That symbols he did not recognize, right? That doesn't seem like any type of known language that he knew. So to me, that kind of sets this apart from the whole human experimental craft thing. Then again, who knows? They do have Mind Wipe Prime. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I want a Mind Wipe Prime.
Mr. Pike wrote in conclusion of his book, the answer to the Rendalsham Forest incident appears to depend on whether a nuts and bolts craft existed at all, the area's geophysical features, and the history of secret experimental research. So this guy's convinced that lights were a natural phenomenon known as ball lightning. And the triangular spacecraft, if it was there at all, guys, was some kind of secret government project. I don't know, man. It just doesn't explain all the rest of it that goes along with it. You're talking about the binary download, right? The guy gets this binary download, and he's talking about, what was it? It turned out to say something like, mission for continuous planetary exploration of humanity, and it gave all these coordinates, which happened to be like Giza and all these fucking different mystical places and shit. So how does that explain any of that? Like, if it was just a regular old military deep black project or whatever. Who knows, man? Like I said,
it depends on who's steering the military. You know what I mean?
And that goes on for quite a while, so if you want to read some more about that, you can hit up the express.co.uk. Case closed. Has the Rendlesham alien
and of course,
UFO mystery finally been solved? And I will say no.
Nah.
Based on that, no, it has not been solved. I mean, even if it was ball lightning, you still don't know what ball lightning is, so it might have something to do with propulsion technology.
Well, I can think of one mystery that I would solve real quick, and that would be, let's say you happen to live on a ranch out in Arizona, and aliens have tried to abduct your wife, and the mystery is, do I want to move or not? And I think the answer would be yes. And that is exactly what one gentleman is doing. This came out on October 25th, 2017 from 12news.com. Arizona man, I'm selling my ranch after aliens tried to abduct my wife. The current owners purchased the property 20 years ago to run horse rescue, the property's listing reads. Over the years, they've experienced a strange series of events that continue to this day. So it's a big house, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,500 square feet, ranch property an hour west of Phoenix.
Yeah. This guy, he wants like
big ass property, big private entrance.
I think he wants like $5 million or something for it, though.
Yeah, and they say that weird stuff happens here. John Edmonds, owner of the Stardust Ranch in Rainbow Valley, has documented the aftermath of certain strange events that he's experienced in photos on his Facebook page. In one particular photo, a samurai sword lays in a pool of what appears to be dried blood. The blood allegedly belongs to an alien that he says he killed on March 13th, 2017. In his own comment from the photo, Edmonds claims that he's slain over a dozen extraterrestrials on his property. Almost immediately from the day we moved in, we began to have strange experiences, Edmonds said. Other photos of it on Edmonds' Facebook page feature injuries he said he suffered during encounters, wounds from recent attacks here at the Stardust Ranch, upper right calf from battle with malevolent ET. He wrote on one photo, adding in another post of the same day, "This is why I want to move." Which, hell, I guess I probably would too, unless, Then again, I guess you're never really bored, right? If you're constantly fighting aliens, that could be...
Man, maybe it's the cynic in me, but I think this dude is just trying to get an over-exaggerated sum of money for his ranch, dude. Where's the bodies? You killed 12.
Yeah,
you killed
exactly.
12 aliens. Where's the bodies? Where's the pictures?
Oh, they dissolve.
Where's the proof? I mean, this dude, look, like I said, maybe I'm being just cynical, but it seems like...
Well, here, we're getting to the good stuff.
Right.
He also says the aliens tried to abduct his wife. They actually levitated her out of the bed in the master chamber and carried her into the parking lot and tried to draw her up into the craft, he said. The property should be no stranger to fans of the extraterrestrial and the paranormals. The Stardust Ranch, a.k.a. Alien Ranch, was featured in an episode of Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel. During the episode, Edmonds claimed that he found an alien artifact and was visited by the real Men in Black.
Well, if it was on the Ghost Adventures...
Oh, of course. If you're visited by the real Men in Black, then you would definitely get a Mind Wipe Prime for free. And
you don't even need to be on the plan, dude.
It's on the house.
Yeah, on the house, man.
Listing agent Kimberly Giro with West USA Realty said that selling a property with this kind of history attached to it takes a little creativity and requires a different strategy than a traditional property would. Hell, sell it to us, Kim. What's good?
Look, man.
It could be our new super secret location.
If I had money like that, I would buy it in a heartbeat, and just to see. I mean, if I had money like that, I mean...
Thousands of people, both nationally and internationally, who follow the owner online and have strong beliefs about aliens and the paranormal. Reaching these people online to generate a buzz about the property has been my number one marketing strategy, Giro said. So, we'll say that's cool. We'll send you the bill for advertising. This isn't the type of property that you can just place in the MLS and wait for a buyer to come along.
Yeah,
Giro said the reaction from potential buyers has been mixed. Some are very intrigued and have no issues with the history. Some are scared to death. Yeah, $5 million. Okay, all right, yeah. That's why nobody wants to buy your house, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. With the guy's lack of proof, with all the shit that he said is going on, he killed, 12 aliens?
Mm-hmm.
He killed 12 aliens, and the best you can do is a picture of a bloody sword?
Yeah, seriously, a toe.
Whatever. It ain't like I'm buying a damn house anytime soon.
Nope. But, how about all that leaked Navy UFO footage, though?
Yeah, let's check
that out. Or the lights
out.
in the Ukraine. There's the
here.
Great Wall. There's all kinds of wild stuff.
This new one is claiming to be from, I guess, 2004, but it recently leaked. Let's take a look at this. Alien bombshell.
This footage has hit the web. It's been featured by a few different...
You're gonna get me in trouble video. Alien bombshell. Watch leaked U.S. Navy footage of UFO that defied physics. Okay, so leaked U.S. Navy video footage of a bizarre UFO which defied physics has emerged just weeks after a former Area 51 insider told of the encounter. It is claimed. It has been claimed. So it has been claimed. So it has been done. The extraordinary UFO said to have outmaneuvered several F-18 pilots during the terrifying encounter, revealed by former senior U.S. National Security Chief Chris Mellon, who spent time at the mysterious Area 51. U.S. Navy personnel aboard the USS Nimitz filmed the UFO during the encounter that lasted several hours, according to Mr. Mellon. Mr. Mellon served for almost 20 years in the U.S. federal government in a series of national security position roles under Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. The ex-national security chief, who had high-level clearance, was on a committee with the oversight of all Department of Defense special access programs and spent a decade on the Senate Intelligence Committee. So they're just saying that this dude was in charge of all the special... That's the deep black shit. Special access programs, right?
Yeah, it's like the stuff that even the Joint Chiefs of Staff doesn't have access to.
If that's the case, this is quite literally just nothing compared to what this guy knows.
Yeah.
So he is now one of the number of former senior government insiders who've gone on record about UFOs after joining alien truth-seeking organization To the Stars. And I just got sued for saying that. Thanks, Tom DeLonge. So, yeah, this is one of the guys, and I had actually found, because it's kind of, the video on that site wasn't very good, I found the same thing on YouTube that's a little better. Let me pull that up for you real quick so that I can, no, stop it. Bam. YouTube.com. Okay, so F-18's launched from USS Nimitz to intercept a UFO. This is part of F-18's cockpit video. So here's the cockpit video. What Very interesting. Interesting. Here it is. And this is the one that they have highlighted in that article we were just checking out. It's funny because the one I've also seen another video of this too that looks like someone's like taping it over like from a screen. Like if you guys remember a while back, we had that one. It was the heat spot that they saw in England, and it was the guy like cell phone video recording the actual machine at work. Creepy tunes, dude.
Super creepy.
I don't know, dude. What do you think about that one, Dan? Whether or not that came from the Navy or not. Well, I mean, apparently it's this guy, the Tom DeLonge guy. But again, if we go back to that To the Stars Academy thing is like deliberately put in place to mislead people with disinfo. Like, you know, not saying that that's not real, because it may be or may not be, but saying that, you know, they're not going to let the whole truth out, just dribs and drabs to kind of create a narrative that they want instead of the actual truth. So who knows, man. So lights in Ukraine, that's what we're talking, right?
Yeah, there was some other UFO stuff from the Ukraine.
Hey. Ukraine villagers. Bizarre pattern of lights spotted in formation. So I think what happened was these people, they saw these lights, they started freaking out, and then the government was like, oh, it's nothing. So villagers in southwest Ukraine are claiming to have proof of alien visitors to Earth after spotting strange lights in the sky. Again, maybe it's aliens, maybe it's the Russians, you know what I mean? Maybe it's us, maybe it's space Nazis, who knows? Why immediately jump to aliens at this point? I mean, we know the technology is out there. Humans are doing this shit. So the lights appeared above the village of Novogorod in southwestern Ukraine's Odessa Oblast this week. Video shows 7 lights in formation.
I hear that's a fun oblast.
Seemingly in the shape of an airplane, but then one of the lights starts to mysteriously drop out of the sky. So there's a picture, there's a photo of it. I guess we'll go ahead and play this video here.
Yep, it definitely looks like a cluster of lights. And then check it out, this one, it's like, alright guys, I'm out of here.
Look, I had just about enough of this. What are you doing, guy? That's fail. Zoom back in.
He's just trying to give you a sense of scale against those epic mountains in the background.
Jum 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 jum. Whoa.
Ready the anal probe.
Did you see that?
Anal probe is ready.
Commence anal probing.
It blinked out, got real bright before it fell.
Yep, and then it splits
Split
into two.
But I think it was two. I think two merged. Did it just re-merge again?
One of them winked out. Didn't merge, it winked out, and then it just keeps falling, and then it kind of hangs there. And then
Oh, I know what that is, guys. It's fucking ball lightning. I don't know what that was, man. That's some serious shit. Let's watch the last bit of that again. Let me scroll back a little more.
Yeah,
what do you guys out there watching think that shit is? Could that be legit chips? Or is it ball lightning?
The world may never know.
It's not in that formation that we've been seeing either. And they're not white. They're yellow.
Yeah, that could just be from the industrial haze of pollution hanging over Russia permanently.
Mm-hmm. Ja.
It makes me think that, like, you know, one of them had to, like, zip off and go do something else.
Somebody in the chat said God was welding shit. Hey, this is as good as explanation as any, right? So, let's see. Where are we on time? All right, so UFO brings down jet fighter.
Now,
This is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
here.
you said they shot down a drone?
This is different. We'll get to the Predator drone. That shit was going wildfire,
okay.
man. All right, so did UFOs bring down fighter jet off UK coast, killing American pilot who saw a flying cone in the sky? Flying cone.
That's weird. I haven't heard. I've heard about triangular craft, but never flying cones.
Well, the body of Captain William
something new.
Schaffner, 28, was never found after a mysterious crash in 1970. I guess that's what he's flying. It's been nearly 50 years since an American fighter jet went down off Britain's coast, spawning a conspiracy theory that persists until this day.
Like
Thank
all
you,
good
Mirror.
conspiracy theories do.
I've never actually even heard of this one. Thank you, Mirror. The official conclusion was that a traffic accident brought down the plane piloted by U.S. Air Force pilot Captain William Schaffner. However, reports of bizarre sightings in the sky fueled intrigue and mystery and speculation that a fighter jet XS-894 was downed by UFOs. Ooh. There were claims of flying transparent spheres and unusual blips on the radar, the Grimsby Telegraph reports. And the pilot's body was missing when the aircraft was discovered on the seabed weeks later with its canopy closed, only adding to the mystery. Yeah? Well, I guess it could have. You think it could have reclosed after it hit the water, like dude, fucking parachuted out or whatever, and then it reclosed, or does it blast the thing off when you open it?
No idea. Oh no, that particular plane.
Anybody
works.
out there listening right now is some kind of avionics expert or something could let us know what happens to the cockpit thing when you blast out of it to eject.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it stays open.
I mean, but does it blow off of the jet, or does it just open up? Because if it just opens up and it goes to the seabed, I can see it reclosing. So no big mystery there. But if it actually blasts off when he ejects, then that means he didn't eject. So it blasts off according to the guy in the chat room. Thank you. So to me, he didn't eject then because it would have been gone. There would have been no way it would have reattached. So there we go. The pilot's body was missing when the aircraft was discovered. Right. So new revelations on the watery fate of Foxtrot 94. So here's a little clip of the original Grimsby Evening Telegraph report on the plane crash.
See, the name Foxtrot makes me a little suspect just because, you know, what a Charlie Foxtrot is. Yeah.
Captain Schaffner has never been found, but he was declared dead. Based at RAF Bimbrook, Lincolnshire during the Cold War, the 28-year-old pilot took off into the skies over Grimsby on the night of September 8th, 1970, and headed out over the North Sea en route to Flamborough. Well, only England, man. But the plane ditched into the sea 5 miles south of Flamborough had shortly after 10:30, sparking an air and sea search and rescue operation that was covered by local newspapers. On October 7th, 1970, it was revealed that the plane had been found when Royal Navy divers sailed to Flamborough on board the HMS Kettleson. But their search still did not provide answers, and they returned empty-handed. The pilot's body was still missing, and the plane remained on the seabed. It would take until December that year for the submerged plane to be brought to the surface. But to everyone's surprise, the canopy over the cockpit was closed, and the cockpit was empty. Shroud of secrecy on XS-894. Yeah, that's it. American pilot was still missing, and immediately rumors began to circulate. On October 1992, the story resurfaced, and the Grimsby Telegraph began publishing a series of articles written by Pat Otter, with the incident being described as the riddle of Foxtrot 94. Tea and crimpets. Mr. Otter claimed that the new evidence had surfaced, and the real reason behind the downing and disappearance of the pilot had a cause which was out of this world. Mr. Otter claimed new evidence pointed to the involvement of UFOs. over the region. He cited unnamed military sources claiming they had seen unidentified objects across Grimsby, Cleethorpes, Scunthorpe, Hull, the Humber, all the way up the coast to Flamborough and beyond. Dude,
I wonder how far that is from Dixon Yarmouth.
I'm such a simple-minded American. Captain Schaefer, during this period, was quick reaction alert duty and was dispatched to investigate the blips on radar. One newspaper report stated the pilot had reported seeing a flying cone and a transparent sphere that flew around his Lightning aircraft, causing his equipment to malfunction. So a cone.
It was transparent, huh?
Cone. Well, transparent sphere. I mean, you would think
Be a
like Foo
field of some
Fighters,
sort,
right?
yeah.
But the cone, man, it's I can't think of nothing instantly comes to mind about any cone sightings. What about you guys out there? I mean, give us a call if you ever saw a cone. The number's on the screen somewhere. You can find it. You're not stupid. It went on to claim the UFO flew much faster and outmaneuvered his plane. The American Air Force stationed in Britain at the height of the Cold War ordered their nuclear planes to take off and join the search. So they sent nuke planes to look for this guy?
Apparently.
Is that like a normal thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Why would you send a nuke plane on a search mission? I don't know. The story dropped off the radar, albeit for a few reports made by UFO investigators, such as Tony Dodd, who wrote about the incident in one of his books, and Bruce Barrymore Halpenny, who reported the incident in one of his Ghost Stations books. Then, in July 1994, the Grimsby Telegraph featured an article about the mass of alleged UFO sightings which had taken place over the region in 1970. All right, so see if you can refresh my memory here. The Spaceman. You know what I'm talking about? What was it? The Solway... I don't know, the big famous...
The crop circle?
No. The famous photographs. So the guy took a picture of his daughter, and he took 2 consecutive pictures, and in one of them there was like a spaceman standing behind her. Mm-hmm. Solway Firth. I wonder where this is in relation, because I think that happened in the 70s too. And I'm wondering what the time frames on these are, if they kind of swap over or not. But they were doing some kind of crazy nuclear launches or something there at the time too. And they actually someone claimed they had spotted that guy in Australia as well. The same looking type of being, entity, whatever.
So they saw these over Cleethorpes Pier, huh? It sounds like a swell place.
So one of the sightings took place over Cleethorpes Pier, like you say. It's claimed that a top-secret Anglo-American Operation Aenid, is that how you say that?
Aenid.
Was launched in an attempt to track, photograph, and ascertain what had happened. The last part of Pat Otter's account of strange happenings. Throughout August 94, numerous articles appeared in the Grimsby Telegraph about these sightings, with headlines claiming radar operators had been called in to view the craft. There were reports in the unidentified craft had surrounded a fleet of phantom jets and that a cat-and-mouse chase resulted in the death of Captain Schaefer.
Chased by who or what?
A fleet of phantom jets. What is that, just like radar glitches? Yeah, Solway Firth. That's what I'm talking. It was in the 60s?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Bootsy. A transcript was published to reveal what was said between the control rooms and the Lightning aircraft piloted by Schaffner. And I would just like to say, I really appreciate our audience being our, what would you call that? Engineer? Thanks, guys. You really help out with the show, man.
Our fact checkers.
Yeah. All right, so Nick Pope, former Ministry of Defense employee on Section 2A desk, which dealt with UFO sightings. So I'm assuming that's going to be the English equivalent to Blue Book. Wrote about it in one of his books. Other eyewitnesses told their stories, including a team at RAF Binbrook who said it was their job to investigate the crash, but claimed they were stalled and that various instruments had vanished. One of the 2 audio transcriptions taken from that night revealed the pilot had described these strange craft. So, and it goes on. I guess I'll keep going. What do you think, Dan?
Well, we are coming up on that break pretty soon, so we might as well
I think
finish it up.
So, in 2002, his sons, Mike and Glenn, launched an attempt to see the official files. Eventually, the files were declassified, and they showed that the incident was an unfortunate accident with a plausible explanation, even going so far to suggest that the cockpit canopy was closed because the hydraulic fluid compresses when it gets cold, as it would be on the floor of the North Sea.
It gets cold as shit when it's up in the atmosphere.
That is true as well. But I'm not familiar with the mechanical systems of an airplane. I don't know if they heat the hydraulic fluid or not.
Good question.
I don't know. I guess, I mean, it is plausible, right? I mean, because when you get hydraulic fluid cold, it's going to contract. It's going to happen. Another breakthrough in the case followed in recent years when the National Archives declassified hundreds of files containing thousands of pages. Across these are a number of interesting files, including the DEFE 242039-1-1, whatever, right? So both of them, which contain numerous pages on the incident. These files, whilst held in the National Archives UFO files, appear to show that the incident was a tragic accident, which claimed the life of Captain Schaffner. So if it was just a regular old accident, why are they filing it away with the,
Right. Yeah, if it's a gunpowder cartridge, exactly. It shoots can be off during an ejection, so there's no way it would come back on.
Yeah,
if it's completely detached.
Unless
from the
he didn't eject, and then it wouldn't make sense of why it would open anyway, right?
Right. If he didn't eject, it didn't eject, then it wouldn't have opened. If he got beamed.
Yeah,
out
I mean the whole thing stinks. I think this guy's full of shit too, man. So anyway,
you can typically count on it when you're dealing with the state.
Mm-hmm. There you have it. Did UFOs bring him down or not?
Yeah.
Who knows, man? I guess it's possible. But I think in this case, let me put forth a quick theory here just that I just came up with in the last minute and a half. I was thinking this. Maybe they kidnapped this guy to put into one of the programs. Maybe he was a superb pilot and they wanted him for empathic abilities or something like that. And they beamed him right out and put him into a program.
Yeah, maybe they captured his plane in mid-flight.
But then again, I haven't heard of any conical-shaped crafts coming out of the secret space program narratives, whistleblowers, experiencers, whatever you want to call them. I haven't heard anybody talk about cone-shaped crafts.
Maybe they're time travelers.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Oh,
well, yeah.
And when we get back, we've got a little bit more about, let's see. We've got UFOs over the Great Wall. We got UFOs attacking predator drones. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff coming out of Saudi Arabia. What the hell's going on there? A ton of stuff going on in Saudi Arabia. And we've got some pretty interesting tech news. Also, Australia is getting into the space race. We'll touch that.
We do got a little bit of Vegas updates. We may or may not have time to get to that. We're going to try to cram in there. I mean, we missed a lot last week, so we're trying to cram as much as we can, but there was just so much interesting UFO shit this week. Yeah, invisible magnetic bubbles in the outer solar system, quark fusion, all sorts of stuff. Because we can't And of course, more exoplanets. We can't forget about the more exoplanets. And the Pizzagate stuff, man. Yeah. We got Corey Feldman coming out, naming abusers. We got all this shit coming out. Wiener going to jail. Weinstein, and you got Manafort. All this shit coming out about Kevin Spacey. Oh, dude, it's fucking Charlie crazy, Sheen. Man. Charlie Sheen's name is on that list. Fucking shit is going down. Yeah. We're gonna. Dan's gonna sit there and talk some more real quick. We've got we've also got, Trump calling on the FBI to go after his political enemies. Is that true? Could be. Makes sense to me. That's typically what politicians do. We've got, let's see. Oh, yeah, always more exoplanets. Final, one thing that is kind of cool, we got Dubai's hoverbike police. They're going to have hoverbikes in Dubai. So if they pretty dope. They'll be coming here eventually. Oh, yeah. So, we will see you when we get back on the other side. Thanks for listening, guys. Kevin Spacey's a Mo. Mo.
Thought they would look to us. Thought they would follow us. But we were wrong. Thought they would listen. seek out and hurt you, distort you and twist you, and misrepresent you. Your elegant innocence has transformed you into a definite target of manipulations and greedy ravagings that plunder your purity, spoil your seed, shadow you under scrutiny, or hide you entirely from consensus reality. Veritas, one and only. Veritas, our own. Veritas. Seeking her endlessly, she's ever elusive. Further and further now, your source gets diluted, and the well is always deeper. How deep can you dive? How deep is your need to stare the truth in the eye? The truth is that you hide from her. You are vulnerable as you lied to yourself. Pitiable as you do. Veritas, one and only. Veritas, our own. Veritas, we will find you. We will know you. We will own you. Veritas. Control you. We will keep you hidden well.
Hey guys, we have returned.
What do you guys do?
Time for the second hour, the hour of power. The hour where we all fight staying awake so we can clamor on about more UFO sightings and whatnots. But you know, as always, you know, if you guys like what you hear, if you like what you see,
you got some change rattling around.
Oh, we're not begging for money again. We're just begging for money. So look, guys, if you want to donate to the cause, help us maybe get some equipment upgrades, pay for some more things here, you know, because it all comes out of pocket. It's a hobby for us guys. Check out patreon.com/realitybrief. Maybe consider donating $1 or something like that. You can also check us out on Facebook, Facebook/realitybrief.
Thanks to you guys, we now have that fancy new YouTube URL. It's youtube.com/c/realitybrief. And of course, we would love it if you were to call us. 757-528-8130. Again, that's 757-528-8130. East of the Rockies, 757-528-8130. The wild card line, 757-528-8130.
Pizzagate is real news, damn it. Thank you for that in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man, we've got 2 more UFO sightings for you real quick before we get on to the other news. If I can get on. And, if you guys like those tunes there, you can go over to myself.bandcamp.com and stream it, download it, whatever. I think he's selling it. It's pretty good. It's put together by Phantom Spy.
Give him like $4.
We go ahead and put that out there for him, Phantom Spy. So yeah,
he's not asking for much for music that will enrich your life.
No, it is really good tunes, man. I love it. I love it. I play it all the time.
I make people at work listen to it.
I do. They get mad about it, but so anyway, I digress. Alien versus Predator. For real though. Saudi. We're gonna get there. Just relax.
Hey, if you had Chapo Guzman fighting Harvey Weinstein, would that count as Alien versus Predator?
So, conspiracy theorists go berserk over video of UFO destroying U.S. Predator drone with energy beam. Dope. That's all I can say. Let's check out the video. Are you going to play? Or are you just going to pretend like you're going to play? UFO Today.
Thanks, UFO Today.
Don't play that music.
That's pee-pee smack music right there.
Smack music.
Yeah, you should mute that.
No.
Just mute it.
Okay. Boom!
Blammo.
What was that?
It's all like...
Okay, so it flew around the corner and and then boom.
Blammo, fuck you. Hits it with an energy beam. Well, it didn't really destroy it because it kept flying,
no,
but
it definitely
it looked like it certainly got shot at.
The clip, which has been viewed over 140,000 times, was supposedly handed over to a conspiracy-fueled YouTube channel by an anonymous government source.
Pew, pew, pew.
My favorite kind. The grainy video shows a small flying object being tracked by a U.S. military aircraft in a desert-like landscape, which the poster says is probably Afghanistan.
Probably
a spaceship, too.
I mean...
When the tiny target disappears around the corner, a quick beam of light, which could have been easily added in with a simple editing tool, appears to be fired at the drone. The military craft appears to be scrambled over after the supposed attack. The YouTuber UFO Today claims he is attempting to verify the footage. He wrote, "Some ex-military people told me that this footage seems genuine drone footage." The social media user also claims his source told him this attack was the tip of the iceberg, as there seems to be an increase of UFOs interacting with military drone. That's pretty interesting if that's true. I mean,
Earth never properly went to the Galactic Council and got its drone license.
Last month, a supposed UFO as bright as a bolt of lightning was spotted hovering over the Yorkshire Dales.
Somebody in our chat points out, like it couldn't actually be the American Southwest, which it probably is, LOL.
Trent Mason, 22, and Jack Holdsworth, 21, were stargazing when they saw the eerie orange object change color and move around the sky for more than 2 hours. And I just would like to point out that they spell color in that kooky British way.
With a U.
With a
color
U.
with a U.
The keen campers were positioned near the famous Ribblehead Railway Viaduct.
Ribblehead.
When they saw the orb appear.
You leave my Ribblehead out of
okay,
this,
let's look. What do you say here?
Yeah, I was watching this documentary the other night, and there was a gentleman named Peter Head.
What?
And I was wondering if he was friends with Dixon Yarmouth.
What the It's weird how it like moves and bursts, like almost like it's being propelled by a chemical propellant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fire falling off. I don't know. Maybe
that is pretty weird. Like it's leaving like a trail of ionized plasma through the atmosphere.
Yeah. Waha. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Zoom, and whoosh.
I guess that's full speed. Out of control rocket missile. Kind of acts like it. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's a test
Look,
of a
it
guided
stopped.
missile.
It stopped chemical propellant, and then it stopped. See, and then the camera cuts out. I bet it just falls to the sky. Glowing Chinese dragon with front hooves. I think so too. It's obviously ball lightning, guys. Obviously.
It was swamp gas holding a balloon.
So, UFO shock as alien flying saucer snapped hovering over Great Wall of China.
You want some dragons?
Whoa. Now, speaking of dragons, Chinese dragons, yeah. Paranormal researchers were investigating an apparent UFO was snapped hovering near the Great Wall of China. Look at this picture.
All right, looks like a solar warden ship.
It looks like... Look, I'm looking at it from kind of far away, and it looks like a poorly photoshopped image, man. Just from here. Like, look at the bottom of it.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's vape.
All right. The Mutual UFO Network today received a report from an eyewitness who shaped the flying saucer. Near the Great Wall at Simati in the north of Myung County, 72 miles north of Beijing. U.S.-based MUFON is the world's largest independent organization dedicated to UFO, alien, and other paranormal research. I never really seen them paranormal, like ghosts. I haven't seen them
Yeah, I've never really seen anything other than UFOs there.
I'm not a MUFON specialist by any means, so...
Nah.
Maintains a database of sightings from across the globe, which it investigates. We know this. The unnamed photographer said in a report to MUFON, I went for Great Wall hiking. I'm not trying to be facetious here. This is what he said. I went for Great Wall hiking.
It's not a grammatically incorrect sentence.
I didn't notice until I was back to the state and checked on my cell phone pictures. The witness thinks it's a UFO, they said in the report. They added, I think it was flying straight over the sky around the hill or Great Wall structure. I didn't realize at first, as I was capturing the view of the site, the Great Wall while hiking. The wall has been a host spot for UFO sightings, and there are many videos on YouTube, but several have turned out to be hoaxes. Really?
You don't say.
Several. However, the object in the image may not be as exciting as it seems. It's certainly not of extraterrestrial origin. According to Scott Brando, a forensic UFO investigator who has debunked hundreds of suspected UFO videos and pictures through his website, ufointerest.org. Pay me. He told express.co.uk it was likely a blurfo. That sounds like some shit Phantom Spy would say. It's blurfo. This is a term coined by UFO investigators for a blurred bird or insect that is caught on camera and resembles a disc or flying saucer shape. He said it's a blurfo. In this case, it's most likely an insect.
That's an insect?
Oh, no, that's hoax. A fake CGI UFO over the Great.
Oh, okay.
I know, I'm like looking at it like, it's clearly a hoax, man. All right, this is what we're talking about. Let's see if we can get this a little larger. Really get in there and examine this thing. Just get examining on this thing. It could be a blurfo.
It could be a goose.
Yeah, it totally could be like Peking duck flying across. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's hard to tell with those images, man.
All right. Well,
that is the last of the UFO sightings and whatnots for tonight.
So, about these happenings in Saudi Arabia.
There we go. Saudi.
Yeah, we've been meaning to get to this. This is coming from Zero Hedge, but they source their stuff. So, Saudi helicopter crash carrying 8 high-ranking officials and Prince bin Merkin crashed near Yemen border, all dead.
Prince bin Merkin?
The shocking latest twist in what has been a chaotic weekend in Saudi Arabia is news that a helicopter transporting 8 high-ranking Saudi officials, including Prince Mansour bin Merkin, has crashed in the south of the kingdom near the border with Yemen. And so, this is a big deal because the Saudi royal family is intermarried with all the other royal families of Europe. You know, it's a big club and you ain't in it, but these guys are.
And I might add, this is not the only isolated incident. Like, there's shit has been jumping off like wildfires still going on right now.
As PTI reports, a prince was killed today when a helicopter with several officials on board crashed near the kingdom's southern border with war-torn Yemen, state television said. The news channel El Akhbariya announced the death of Prince Mansour, the deputy governor of Asir province and son of a former crown prince. It did not reveal the crash or the fate of the other officials aboard the aircraft. The crash also comes after Saudi Arabia yesterday intercepted and destroyed a ballistic missile near Riyadh's international airport after it was fired from Yemen in an escalation of the kingdom's war against Iran-backed Houthi rebels. So, you know, it's pretty crazy stuff. They got some video, Saudi Arabia trying to bring Yemen peace, and there's this big-ass, you know, not a mushroom cloud, but, it's a big explosion cloud that kind of looks like a mushroom. It's not like a nuclear mushroom cloud. Details are few for now, but some headlines report that the high-ranking officials include Crown Prince Mansour bin Merkin, Deputy Emir of Asir Province. He was son of Merkin bin Abdullah Aziz Al Saud, the ex-intelligence chief who was briefly with Saudi Arabia's crown prince from January to April 2015. The incident occurred as officials were on their way back from an inspection trip to Al Saida Al Sawalha Center in the municipality of Mahil Asir. A video believed to be the last one of Prince Mansour alive was released by the channel showing him and the accompanying officials boarding the helicopter. So, you know, apparently this guy was a big deal. He's dead now. Everybody that was with him is dead.
And you said this was in a helicopter crash?
And so the commentators at Zero Hedge say, so Trump pushes Aramco IPO out of the blue. Prime Minister of Lebanon forced to resign. Saudis intercept missiles. 11 Saudi princes arrested. Numerous officials charged. And now a dead crown prince near the border with Yemen. Just what is going on in Saudi Arabia?
And on an interesting note, this just in from Raytheon. The answer is the laser dune buggies.
Oh!
Speaking of helicopters...
Hot
in a windowless room on Raytheon's campus in Texas, a small team of blue jean-clad engineers and physicists is doing something that's never been done before. They move back and forth between computer screens and a vehicle that looks like it's straight out of Mad Max. Yeah! We got a caller.
Snap. We got a caller.
Okay, caller. Anyway, the point being, Raytheon just developed a dune buggy that shoots down helicopters with a laser beam.
Or drones or whatever.
Caller, you're on the air, live with Reality Brief. Don and Dan, tell us how you love us.
Hey, I know you're all excited about that cool, the drones and the buggies, the lasers. And
yeah.
Before you get, I'm excited too, don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But before you get off of that, there was something else that was interesting about the Saudi Arabia stuff.
We're not. We were going back to it. It was just a quick side note, man. We got more. We got more Saudis.
Well, I'll let you.
More Saudis than your body has room
go ahead.
for.
Fill us in, man.
Tough guy.
Fill us in, guy. Look, we need your help.
No, I read something interesting just earlier. Apparently, this came from Zero Hedge. There was a leaked secret Israeli cable that confirms Israeli-Saudi coordination to provoke a war. So, early this morning, Israeli Channel 10 News published a leaked diplomatic cable which had been sent to all Israeli ambassadors throughout the world concerning the chaotic events that unfolded over the weekend in Lebanon and Saudi Arabia, which began with Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri's unexpected resignation after he was summoned to Riyadh by his Saudi backers and led to the Saudis announcing that Lebanon had declared war against the kingdom. So I'm not going to read this whole fucking thing here, but basically it seems like this is the jumping off that Saudi and Israel are working on to finally get into war in Iran. And, we'll see what the U.S.'s part in that is. But with all the shakeup going on in Saudi Arabia, there definitely seems to be some deal-making on our part.
Oh, without question. I mean, because we're just, Saudi's just now starting to work with Israel, but they've been buddies with us for a long time.
Well, yeah, and the Saudi royal family is married into the British royal family.
Saudi and Israel have definitely been working together on some things for a little while.
Well, check this out. We found an article from this is from addisabram.wordpress.com, and they ask, was Las Vegas a Saudi Crown Prince Salman assassination attempt? This guy writes, last night I was on a radio discussing the Las Vegas shooting in connection to what's happening in Saudi Arabia. They are connected. I'll start at the beginning. There was King Faisal who had a son, Prince Alawid bin Talal. King Faisal took ill and named his brother Salman as king in his place. King Salman named his son as an heir to the throne instead of his brother's son, Prince Al-Walid. Al-Walid is a Wahhabi. Salman is a Sunni. Wahhabi is extreme Islam. Salman wanted a more modern, non-extreme Islam for Saudi. That's why he named his own son as heir. In Las Vegas, Prince Al-Walid owned the upper floors of the Mandalay Bay Resort, including the 32nd floor that was one of the points of shooting at the Strip. I say one of the places because the witnesses were all correct. There were other locations too. The Mandalay Bay has a helipad on the roof. This is important because that was the escape route after the carnage. Paddock was a pilot. He was also a gun runner between the Philippines and the U.S. He was running guns for Prince Al-Walid. He didn't win at the casino. Those millions came from smuggling. One of the nights of the attack, I found out that King Salman was in Las Vegas. I didn't know that part until after the show, and I received a missing piece of info. Salman was at the Tropicana. Paddock was victim 1. Others were used to shoot at the country music venue. That was to create chaos and distract from the real target over at the Tropicana. Al-Walid's assassins shot from Mandalay Bay, but they were also at the Tropicana trying to kill Salman. That explains why there were shooters on the ground as well as in the air. Remember the videos of the helicopter flyover? I asked why a helicopter would be there when there was a shooter high up. It wasn't news or cops. It was the assassins who ran up the stairs.
And you know,
to the roof of the 32nd floor.
And you know, an interesting thing about that is Phantom Spy. You said what was up on the top floors of the Mandalay Bay?
Al-Walid owned the upper floors.
It's the Four Seasons. It's a separate hotel, but it's operated by the same people, but it's owned by the Saudis and Bill Gates. So they, clearly that's how they brought the weapons down, because they never showed a single frame showing Paddock entering the hotel or any video or anything of him in the lobby or anything.
This connects. This guy says,
here's the suspect.
Remember how they sealed the door to the stairwell? Paddock had access to the service elevator because the boss said he could use the elevator and nobody questioned him. Meanwhile, the assassination attempt on Salman failed. Now we're seeing the result of the failed attempt. It was not only an assassination attempt and a terror attack, but an attempted coup in Saudi. That's why everyone shut up in Vegas. The response is still ongoing. You're watching it play out.
That makes sense.
This guy says, I will post comments to prove my story. Las Vegas was definitely a terror attack. Al-Walid, owner of the suite, who is behind all of it. All the witnesses citing multiple shooters told the truth. There were shootouts along the Strip and in Mandalay Bay and Tropicana hotels. The reason nobody is talking is it's not over yet.
Don't forget the airstrip. Did you guys cover that? The leaked the air traffic control recordings with talking about the guys shooting on the run.
No, dude, I missed that, man. Fill us in on that, man.
I'll see if I can find a link to that or something. It's just a quick snippet of audio during the event, because there's an airport directly nearby. And
this was during the Vegas attack.
In the Vegas attack, yeah. There's this airstrip that's like a VIP airstrip that Trump would use for a Saudi prince, and apparently it's right there. It's right alongside the harvest site.
I got Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock fired at airport fuel tanks during attack.
That was something that people were looking into. I don't know where exactly that all went, but apparently, there were these giant fuel tanks that were part of a larger attack that was supposed to happen with thermite in his car, not the tannerite, I think, in his car, the explosive target compound stuff. Apparently there was a car bomb that was supposed to go off with another attack member or something. From how this all looks, that was supposed to ignite fuel that was leaking out of those tanks after they'd been shot. But that's separate from what I'm talking about here. Apparently, there had been shooters on the runway, and there's an air traffic control operator who's clearly a professional. It's not some fucking YouTuber. It's obviously a real one, doing his job. And he mentions it to someone that they're dealing with that, and he's talking to 7 people right now. I'll see if I can find that for you when I hang up.
I think I got it right here, man. Air traffic control audio from night of Las Vegas shooting reveals there were active shooters on the runway.
Yeah, And now, let me just say one last thing before I let you guys go. But if any of this really sounds unreasonable, think about back in, I think it was like 2007 or 2006. I think it was the Saudis. Someone blew up a fucking D.C. restaurant in an assassination attempt. Do you remember that?
They blew up. I'm sorry. What was it?
In the middle of Washington, D.C., some Saudis blew up a restaurant to try to kill another Saudi.
No. I don't remember that, man.
Got fucking memory hold. Let me Google that one real quick.
Wow.
Well, yeah, send that
well,
into us.
I think I got the tapes right here, man. Let's see what we got.
2011? Oh, was this Iran, maybe?
Well, and there are a couple of other
No.
things connected to the whole Las Vegas incident, too, connected to Paddock. One of them was his brother of Vegas shooter, expected in court today on child porn charges. And then, what's interesting is that, you know, what happens when you get caught with that? They take your hard drive, right? Well, get this: Las Vegas shooter's laptop missing its hard drive as a separate headline. So somebody's trying to get at the hard drives of these guys' computers.
Yeah. And I did find the audio, if you bear with me for a second there, Phantom Spy, because you probably won't be able to hear this. So, here we go.
This is a blanket broadcast for all aircraft. Just a heads up. Keep your feet up to the ramp and...
So, there he says... Make the left turn, Bravo 5, Charlie, to the ramp, and just be advised there's an active shooter on the airport. This is a blanket broadcast for all aircraft. Just a heads up. Keep your speed up to the ramp. So, I mean, it says it right there, plain as day, there's an active shooter. And it goes on. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty interesting, man. I had not heard about that yet.
Yeah, so somehow all this ties together. And in addition to the helicopter crash, Saudi Massacre 2, Electric Boogaloo, second Saudi prince confirmed killed during crackdown. Following the death of Prince Mansour bin Markin, the Saudi court has confirmed the death of Prince Abdul Aziz bin Fahd, killed during a firefight as authorities attempted to arrest him. The death has been confirmed by the Saudi royal court. The Duran and the Al-Mazdar both report that the prince died when his security contingent got into a firefight with regime gunmen attempting to make an arrest. Prince Aziz, 44, was the youngest son of King Fahad. The Duran's Adam Gary points out that Prince Abdul Aziz was deeply involved in Saudi Oger Limited, a company which, until it ceased operations in the summer of this year, was owned by the Hariri family. Former Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri was in charge of the company until it ceased operations. Prince Abdul Aziz's strange and sudden death, which is said to have occurred during an attempted arrest, sheds light on the theory that the clearly forced resignation of former Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri had more to do with internal Saudi affairs than the Saudi attempt to bring instability to Lebanon.
Mm-hmm. Well, hold on. Before we get too far away from it, I just want to point out that 9/11, all right, the hijackers were Saudi, right? There was Saudi assets in play in this. We know 9/11 was an op. It was a false flag. What you may not know about 9/11 is that there were also car bombs in front of the building. And I'm assuming they put them there to try and cover up the explosions coming from the bases and stuff. But it was something that came out and it was real quick quieted. Several car bombs at the Trade Center. So it seems to be an MO here. You know what I mean? Like this Saudi, like these royals, who are they in bed with on our side? Are these the Bushes? Is this linked in with Bandar? So we're talking Bandar Bush here, Clintons.
Well, you got to think there's multiple factions of Saudis, just like there's multiple factions of Americans.
No, true. Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what they just said. It's basically right now it's Wahhabis versus Sunnis. It's the moderates versus the extremists, and they're scrapping for control of Saudi Arabia.
Even within Wahhabi and within those factions, there's still like people making deals with other people and stuff. I mean, it's probably so messy that there's
Yeah, I mean, I believe it's further. It goes a lot deeper than that religious stuff. I think that religious stuff is just like surface population control. Like the people behind the scenes in Saudi are not worried about fucking Islam.
Well, you know,
Kids,
Yeah.
you remember that laser dune buggy we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Well, what happens
let's go
when
back
we...
to that. I'm gonna let you guys go so you can do that. But yeah, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling.
Well, yeah, later, fam. So be safe, buddy. So, in addition to lasers on freaking dune buggies, we also got lasers on freaking Apache helicopters. They have successfully zapped targets at White Sands Missile Base. This is a major breakthrough for tactical laser development in rotary wing aircraft, and so it doesn't take a whole lot of imagination to picture this, but we got a picture for you anyhow.
This I think is actually kind of old. I mean, it's a new article, but I remember hearing about this a little while ago because they were having issues with it because of like stabilization and targeting and shit. So now I guess they got it all worked out.
Yeah, so they got this Apache helicopter. They say, we reported on the concept and test program over a year ago, and it has finally happened. An AH-64 Apache equipped with a tactical high-energy laser successfully took out targets on the White Sands Missile Range. This test is a major breakthrough in directed energy weapons and rotary wing aircraft, to say the least. Above all else, it is a glimpse of what's to come on the battlefields of the future. The statement from Raytheon, the primary contractor on the laser test program, reads, a high-energy laser mounted on an Apache AH-64 attack helicopter acquired and hit an unmanned target. The test was conducted by Raytheon and the U.S. Army Apache Program Management Office in collaboration with the U.S. Special Operations Command at White Sands Missile Base, New Mexico. It was the first time a fully integrated laser system successfully shot a target from a rotary wing aircraft over a wide variety of flight regimes, altitudes, and airspeeds, proving the feasibility of laser attack from Apache. So, hang on, how strong is it? Just how strong is it? The system tracked and directed energy on a stationary target at a slant range of 1.4 kilometers. Slant range is the line of sight distance between 2 points at different levels. The data collected from the test, including the impact of vibration, dust, and rotor downwash, will help shape future high-energy laser systems. Our goal is to pull the future forward, said Art Morish, Vice President of Advanced Concepts and Technologies for Raytheon Space and Airborne Systems. This data collection shows we're on the right track. There we go. For the test, Raytheon coupled a variant of the multispectral targeting system, an advanced electro-optical infrared sensor with a laser. The MTS provided targeting information, situational awareness, and beam control. So, yeah, we got helicopters with freaking lasers on them.
It's coming.
Yep. Shaking your boots, communists. Shaking your boots.
What is this here, Dan? I didn't get a chance to go over this earlier. Trump calls on the FBI to go after his political enemies for things that aren't crimes.
Yeah, so...
It sounds like business as usual, but...
it sounds pretty much... Yeah.
Let's see what they got to say about it, because who knows?
I think this is an opinion piece, too, so...
For Donald Trump, the rule of law is like a three-legged puppy. Really. The scene where Bambi's mother dies... and an Elliott Smith album all rolled into one. Who's Elliott Smith? You know, the saddest thing is that because I'm the president of the United States, I am not supposed to be involved with the Justice Department. The president told conservative radio host Larry O'Connor on Thursday, I'm not supposed to be involved with the FBI. I'm not supposed to be doing the kind of things I would love to be doing, and I'm very frustrated by it. Hours after lamenting the fact that the United States is a constitutional republic where the president can't order the FBI around like it's his personal detective agency, Trump ordered the FBI to go after his political opponents for non-criminal activities. Everybody's asking why the Justice Department and FBI isn't looking to all the dishonesty going on with crooked Hillary and Dems. That was November 3rd, 2017.
Deleted emails, uranium, Podesta, the server. So this is Trump going on about all this stuff, huh?
Yeah. So, I don't understand. That doesn't even make any sense. These fucking people are such propagandists, man.
They really
Trump
are, because
calls on
those
the
things
FBI
are
to
definitely
go
crimes.
Yeah, like, and
so,
he's not even calling on
it's
them
an
to
opinion
go.
piece. He's
not even saying that. He's saying, look, well, people are mad and people are pissed, man.
Yeah, they are.
You know what, man?
And Trump said he was going to do all this good shit when he got into office.
I am not a fan.
It proves just how powerless the president really is.
I am not a fan of Donald Trump by any means, right? But you don't have to make shit up. There's plenty of shit you can say that's true that paints him in, the fashion that you're looking for. Fucking propagandist here. Whatever. I'm done with this article.
Yep.
I don't even want to read it.
On to the
Put it
next.
there? Don't put no propaganda in it. All right.
Well, hey, propaganda deserves to be exposed, right?
Yeah, you're right. Fucking shit. So what do we got?
Oh yeah, so we covered Saudi massacre too.
Oh,
Trump
you
going
know
out.
what, man? Let's
The
tap
Manafort
into
arrest?
some of this Pizzagate shit. So Corey Feldman, as you guys may or may not know, has been running around talking about. He's been saying it for a while that he was molested when he was a child actor. He wouldn't give out any names. I was thinking immediately Steven Spielberg. Don't ask me why. Allegedly Steven Spielberg. I don't know. Whatever's not going to get me sued. And Charlie Sheen, same thing. Allegedly. Whatever. What was that?
Sick!
Anyway, he wouldn't give out any names. Finally, he starts giving out names. And there was two of them. And I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. Let me pull an article up here. This one's coming from CBS. Corey Feldman names two of his alleged sexual abusers. So
He even went on AJ Gator's show and talked about it.
really,
Yeah. Yeah, right here.
after announcing last week that he plans to go out pedophiles in Hollywood, Corey Feldman has named two men that he claims abused him on the Dr. Oz show. Feldman named former co-star John Grissom and showed his photo on the air, claiming the man sexually assaulted him in the 80s. Later, Feldman went on Twitter to clarify the man's name is John Grissom, Jon Grissom, not John Grissom, who is another actor. Feldman called Santa Barbara law enforcement officials to report the allegations on the Dr. Oz show. Grissom is the second man Feldman has named. On Monday, Feldman told Megyn Kelly on Today that the former child talent manager and convicted sex offender Marty Weiss was one of his former abusers. On the Dr. Oz shows, Dr. Mehed Oz held up a photo of Grissom and Feldman said, "That's the guy." So he also said that guy was like taunting him with pictures he took or some shit, like on MySpace or something. It just makes you wonder, like, who the hell even still uses MySpace anymore?
Bands.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much. It's just for bands.
Yeah.
I found the name of an interesting one the other day, actually, on MySpace, but I don't think I can repeat it on the air. It wasn't very nice.
Right.
Bootsy knows what I'm talking about.
Well, here's the thing, too. Now, he files police report over the ring, but now I guess what? They're saying the statute of limitations has run out?
I guess.
That's how, is that what is he, I mean, you know, is that what he fucking waiting for the whole time? Because he's been waiting and waiting and waiting. Corey Feldman apparently got the message that he can't wait to raise $10 million to make a movie to expose an alleged group of Hollywood pedophiles who preyed on him and other teen actors, including the late teen star Corey Haim. After being nagged by Matt Lauer and Dr. Oz, among others, Feldman on Monday finally visited the Los Angeles Police Department to file a report. BuzzFeed News and other outlets are reporting. BuzzFeed.
Speaking of Corey
BuzzFeed.
Haim, hey, don't shoot the messenger, right? I mean,
right. I don't got a problem with him.
What's it? Speaking of Corey Haim, how about that Charlie Sheen? Fucking now he's coming out and saying Charlie Sheen diddled him.
Who?
Corey Haim.
Corey Haim's dead.
Who? What? Oh yeah, well, dude, fucking what's it?
You talking about Corey Feldman?
No, yeah, it was. Or there are allegations that Charlie Sheen raped Corey Haim when Corey Haim was 13.
I heard some stuff like that too, because that guy before he died was saying shit like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you got Elijah Wood saying the same thing.
Yep.
This isn't like a surprise. We've known this all along, but finally, hopefully, some people will start coming to justice for this shit. So the department responded Tuesday by issuing a statement confirming that it was investigating the report, though it wouldn't specify what allegations police are checking out. As it happens, the department on Tuesday also confirmed it was investigating a report related to another star caught up in Hollywood's ongoing crisis over sexual harassment and assault. Kevin Spacey, maybe? The department said it was looking into actress claim that Gossip Girl star she got raped by a Gossip Girl star. All right, so with regard to Feldman, the 80s child star and musician has spent the past several years claiming that he and Haim were victims of predators in Hollywood, men who were all friends with one another. The Coreys, as they were known, starred in 7 films, blah, 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 blah. Ask anybody from our group of kids at the time, Feldman told The Hollywood Reporter last year. They were passing us back and forth to each other. It's so sad, man.
It really is.
So, Okay, so I'm guessing they just won't say. I'm not seeing anything about statute limitations or anything. Oh, wait. Unfortunately, Feldman may have already heard his case with his $10 million movie project. Yeah, that probably wasn't the most smart thing to do. For one thing, more than 25 years have passed, which in itself can make any kind of case challenged to prosecute. Yeah, no doubt, man. So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that guy, he's telling the truth, man, but he just unfortunately doesn't look like he went about it the right way. So, we'll see what happens. Wiener finally ends up in jail.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be a wiener getting pounded in jail.
Mm-hmm. Frightened of prison beatdown because of pedophile label. Poor Anthony Weiner.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's afraid he's going to get his ass kicked in jail. This is coming from TMZ. Anthony Weiner will probably be viewed as a pedophile and therefore be a major target for violence by other inmates, and that's why he wants to avoid serving time in a hardcore Brooklyn prison. Good luck, buddy. And, speaking of professional victims, John Podesta is also crying his eyes out and saying, I'm a victim of a big lie campaign by the American president. John Podesta, you guys, if you listen to this show, you know who he is. Painted himself as a victim after President Trump repeated claims that a federal investigation into Tony Podesta's lobbying firm overshadowed the first indictments issued by the special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia probe.
Wait. Say that again? You lost me there.
John Podesta, former campaign chair for Hillary Clinton's 2016 bid for president, painted himself as a victim on Tuesday after Trump repeated claims that a federal investigation into Tony Podesta's lobbying firm overshadowed the first indictments issued by special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia probe. So, yeah, they're going to be going after Tony Podesta's lobbying firm, but apparently they're going after Paul Manafort, too, and that was Trump's boy.
Yeah. Well, they were doing the same fucking thing at the same time, man.
They're going after Manafort, campaign advisor Papadopoulos, Richard Gates. So, and they're, this other article from Journal Now is talking about Eugene Robinson. Look who's talking.
Oh, poor Johnny. Not bad enough I was victim of a massive cybercrime directed by the Russian president. Now I'm the victim of a big lie campaign by the American president. So sad cry. Whatever, dude. You're going the fuck down. Get used to it. You go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Bastard. You're lucky that's all they get you for, you little...
And so, they're saying now that the Mueller investigation poses a serious and perhaps existential threat to the Trump administration. Apologists for the president, let's see, what's this? Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and his associate Richard Gates, now at home under home confinement and charged with offenses that carry long prison sentences, would likely disagree. Advisor George Papadopoulos, whose special counsel Robert Mueller has flipped into cooperating with the probe, might also attest that Monday's acts and revelations are a big deal. Let's see. Perhaps the nastiest surprise for Trump and those close to him is that Papadopoulos, who was on the campaign's foreign policy team, was arrested July 27th and became a proactive cooperator with the Mueller probe. Papadopoulos pleaded guilty October 5th to making false statements in an interview with the FBI earlier this year regarding his contacts with foreigners about obtaining Russian help for the campaign. Trump had good reason to spend that morning upstairs in the White House residence, brooding and fuming regarding Manafort and Gates. Trump could argue that Mueller had made no allegation thus far of collusion with the Russians to boost Trump's prospects in the election. But the case, according to court documents, is all about Russian mischief, and the Trump campaign may have known about it. So, I mean, I think it's great that it's coming to smear shit that both sides had some connection to the Russians.
Dude, I'm still maintaining that Trump is buddies with Clinton.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. They've been buddies for 30 years. This country has the political memory of a damn tsetse fly. Yeah, or what are those things? Mayflies that only live for a day, and they live just long enough to, mate and die. Yeah, that's America's political memory right there.
What's this one do?
Show you the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
What's in the box, America? Not your memory.
Not your votes. Those are in a burn barrel out back.
What's in the box? Yeah, so we had an election yesterday in Virginia, and everybody's running around like they did something. and it's hilarious,
I stayed home and I worked.
and it's killing me.
Screw your election.
I do not consent to be governed by the likes of those people.
Damn right. There is no authority but yourself. And you know what? Most of these people that are getting elected probably don't even have their own houses in order. You know, they can't even govern themselves. Who the hell are they to govern anybody else? Bunch of nonsense. Yeah.
Thanks, AJ.
Douchebags.
Anytime you want to call up and give us a couple pointers there, guy.
I'm angry.
I got to put there to remind me not to get so pissed off when I'm talking about people like John Podesta and how he's going to skate for his more serious crimes and end up with some fucking pee-pee smack, as we like to call it at work.
Well, and you know, the only thing that's going to be hotter than Anthony Weiner's butthole in jail is going to be is this theoretical quark fusion.
Great.
Is this theoretical quark fusion found to be more powerful than hydrogen fusion that we found out about on Fizzorg? So this is definitely some next level tech here. What's it? A pair of researchers from the Tel Aviv University and the University of Chicago have found evidence suggesting that fusing quarks can release much more energy than anyone ever thought. In their paper published in the Nature Journal, Marit Karlaner and Jonathan Rosner described their theories surrounding the amount of energy involved when various types of quarks are fused together. To learn more about subatomic particles, researchers at the Large Hadron Collider cause atoms to move at very high speeds and then smash them into each other. Doing so allows the component parts of the atoms to be dissociated from one another, allowing each to be studied. These components...
And it also
scientists
rips a
have
hole
quarks
in the timeline and causes the Berenstain Bears to be spelled differently.
Yeah.
And to me to also forget about the bombing in D.C.
And wormholes.
Extreme.
So... what's this? Prior research has shown that when atoms in the collider smash into each other, the pieces that come apart collide with other parts, fusing them into particles called baryons. Prior work has suggested that energy is involved when free quarks fuse together. In studying the properties of one such fusing, a doubly charmed baryon, the researchers found that it took 130 MeV to force the quarks into such a particular configuration, but they found that fusing the quarks together wound up releasing 12 MeV more than that. Intrigued by their finding, they quickly focused on bottom quarks, which are heavier. Calculations show that it took 230 to fuse these, but doing so resulted in a net release of approximately 138, which the team calculated was approximately 8 times more than the amount released than when hydrogen fuses.
That's kind of dope.
So, yeah, we're going to have they're saying it's all still purely theoretical. They have not tried to fuse bottom quarks yet. They note that it should be technically feasible at the LHC, should others find doing so a worthwhile experiment. So,
they've been busy, like, opening up rifts to, like...
inventing new particles and shit.
Or whatever. Yeah, like...
But they say that they're you know what, that's what I think is so interesting about this is when they find stuff that doesn't fit the standard model of physics, because it shows that the standard model of physics is wrong. Like back in July 6th, they observed a new particle with 2 heavy quarks.
Right.
So I think we talked about that here on the show.
I think I remember that.
Oh yeah, it's something I really wanted to touch on.
Well, hold on, before we get there.
What was that?
Nanomagnets levitate thanks to quantum physics. Do we have some anti-gravity basis here coming out? Quantum physics in some weird place. They show in two current publications that despite Earnshaw's theorem, nanomagnets can be stably levitated in an external static magnetic field owing to quantum mechanical principles. The quantum angular movements of electrons, which also causes magnetism, is accountable for this mechanism. So, eat it.
Stability caused by gyromagnetic field. And
eat it, Earnshaw.
What have we been saying in those tree work engines this entire time? A big gyroscope.
A big gyroscope. Big gyroscope. So, how much longer have we got? I mean, are we going to get the infrared cell phone camera? Are we going to get the anti-gravity car? I mean, come on, guys. Just give us it already, man.
They're going to have them in Dubai, apparently.
Oh, the hover bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah, hover bikes in Dubai.
Yep.
What's up with that?
That's a thing. But what's it, before we get to, yeah, I guess we could segue into that. Hover bikes are kind of cool.
I don't even got it.
No, I got it here somewhere.
So, Dubai, man, the land of we just do anything we feel like at the time. Like, they got those, you remember those underwater hotels?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. And then they got all those artificial islands, this much giant building, dude. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, this is from Daily Mail. Russian firm reveals plans for a 5-seater flying taxi. The makers of the first hoverbike have created an air taxi called an ATAAS that seats 5, or ATAS. The taxis can be parked in regular parking spaces. The wings fold up. Makers of the device HoverSurf say the product will be available next year. And they got this snazzy-looking picture of this.
Man, that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Is that from iRobot?
This looks like some TNG-level shit right here. The company says that the device will help with traffic jams and be a solution for people's daily commutes. HoverSurf announced that the drone taxis, which they call the transport of the future, will be available as early as next year, and the taxis are safer than ground transportation. It features a computer, a security system, and a drone signal. It monitors all ground and flying vehicles, can take off and land from a parking space, features a digital map of the city and GPS. It can be fueled at an electric charging station or a regular gas station with a hybrid power plant FPE. So, yeah, this is pretty rad looking, man.
Yeah.
You know, they've been promising this for a long time.
They have. And I'm not seeing what has this got.
They say HoverSurf is also responsible for the Scorpion 3, the single-seat aircraft capable of lifting a person into the sky with full passenger control. The Scorpion 3 merges a standard motorbike design with drone quadcopter technology to allow riders to maneuver in the air as if they were riding a bike.
So I'm looking at this thing, and I'm seeing what appears to be an array of turbines there.
Mm-hmm.
So not your typical drone, just regular helicopter blade type thing.
Angled turbines.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, I want one. I mean, because you know what? If they're 150,000 now, then in 10 years.
You know what, though, man?
20
I'm
years.
just thinking about driving now. In an
People drive
automobile.
like shit in 2 dimensions.
My God. Can you imagine when everyone's flying around? They're going to have to do autopilot or something, man, because holy shit. And then if you wreck, you plummet to your death.
You are fucked.
Yeah,
you are insta fucked.
There's no fender bender in a flying fucking car. You know what I mean? Like,
there's only fatalities.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's going to be awesome. You could just be like, boom, be where you got to be. And on the other hand, you might die like 90% of the time because people just can't drive, man.
Even if you're wearing a parachute.
Oh, God. Imagine if it rains.
Oh, crap. Yeah. I mean, your whole flight thing would have to be controlled by an intelligent routing system.
It would have to be, man, some type of mother brain system that, like air traffic control, where you plug in, like, and put in your destination and then automatically route you.
But, you know, this does make a big case for building your house out of some shipping containers buried under a pile of dirt like a hobbit hole. Because that way, if there's going to be retards flying around everywhere, then, like, you want to have some earth between you and them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get building on a little bunker. Something else you might want to build a bunker for, but probably won't have to. NASA's strange comet or asteroid could be the first interstellar object. This is coming from the Epoch Times. It's a 2017 UI. An object that isn't acting like most other objects in space has been picked up by a telescope in Hawaii that takes images for NASA. On October 19th, the object was spotted traveling under Earth's orbit by Hawaii's Pan-STARRS 1 telescope on the Haleakala volcano in Maui. Rob Warwick, a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Hawaii for astronomy, was the first to spot it. He sent images of the roughly 437-yard-wide object to the Minor Planet Center in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and then checked the previous images taken by the telescope.
Hold up. This object passed through the inner solar system by Venus and Mercury in September and October. When was the last time that we had Anthony Zender on and he was talking about Nibiru, what he thought was Nibiru?
Yeah, turned out it wasn't Nibiru, but, you know, hey, it's something.
I'm wondering, man. I can't remember the date of that. Anyway, go on. I'll see if I can find the date.
The object, currently named A2017U1, came from the direction of the constellation Lyra, NASA said, and is now heading at a clip of 27 miles per second towards the constellation Pegasus. This is the most extreme orbit I've ever seen, say David Farnokia, a scientist at NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, CNEOS. It's going to be extremely fast and on such a trajectory that we can say with confidence that this object is on its way out of the solar system and not coming back. So this thing just slingshotted out of the blackness of space from the direction of Lyra, got caught in our sun's gravitational well, and slingshots around it at nearly a 90-degree angle.
So, just for you guys listening out there, Anthony Zender was on the show August 30th of this last year, and he was saying that he was calling it Nibiru. Me and Dan were kind of like, there's no way there's a fucking whole solar system sitting next to it.
But it's definitely an object.
But, you know, according to this, there was an object out there at the exact time he said Nibiru was there, which, you know, whatever.
We have long suspected that these objects should exist, because during the process of planet formation, a lot of material should be ejected from planetary systems, said Karen Meach, an astronomer at the IFA specializing in small bodies and their connection to solar system formation. What's most surprising is that we've never seen interstellar objects pass through before, which we can assure you they have. We have been waiting for this day for decades, said CNEOS manager Paul Chodas. Since this is the first object like this to be discovered, I wonder if they're trolling us sometimes. There are no rules for naming it. The IAU will have to create a naming convention, so they don't know what to name it other than 2014A.
So, I mean, what was it? Just a rock?
Yeah, it just apparently just a big asteroid. That's all they're telling us. Hell, for all we know, it could have been a dropship full of reptilians.
Fuck, dude, man. Shit.
Yeah, like one of those Intrati ships from, what was it, Robotech, that just looked like a big rock, but it's really a ship.
Hey, the Mayans that Corey Good talks about said they fly around big rocks.
Well, and, you know, I hear that, what's it, you know, we've heard some reports that Sirius Base is apparently pretty lit. Well, it must be really lit because they've extended the Dawn mission. NASA has authorized a second extension of the Dawn mission at Sirius, the largest object in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So they're saying the Dawn flight team is studying ways to maneuver Dawn down into a new elliptical orbit, which may take the spacecraft to less than 120 miles from the surface. Its previous lowest altitude was 240 miles.
Ceres is the one that has the lights, right?
It's the one that has the big Death Star crater in the middle of it, and then it's got like the shiny shit in the middle.
Yeah.
It's the biggest asteroid in the belt. It's the only thing in the belt resembling big enough to be a planet.
If you're a follower of the show, have been for a while, you remember probably over a year ago now we had Tony Rodriguez on, and he said that he was stationed on a base in Ceres.
Yeah, Sirius Station. And if you're familiar with The Expanse, then you know Sirius Station pretty well. And actually, you know what? I love what they do with the place in The Expanse, because there's this big subway system that coils around the entire inside of the moon.
And they have that, according to Tony, that's what's there.
Yeah.
He got there through some type of jump gate train, if I'm not mistaken, from Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And he said there was tons of trains moving them around from place to place in Ceres.
Well, NASA's saying the extended mission at Ceres allows for Dawn to be in orbit while the dwarf planet goes through perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun, which will occur in April of 2018. At a closer proximity to the Sun, more ice on the Ceres surface may turn to water vapor, which may in turn contribute to the weak transient atmosphere detected by ESA's Herschel Space Observatory before Dawn's arrival. Building on Dawn's findings, the team has hypothesized that water vapor may be produced in part from energetic particles from the Sun interacting with ice in Ceres' shallow surface. Scientists will combine data with the ground-based observations with Dawn's observations to further study these phenomena as Ceres approaches perihelion. So, hey, that's cool. You know, we'll know more about, publicly at least, what's really on Ceres. So, that excites me.
Well, guys, that's about all the time we have for you for this week, but we will be back next week. And I'd like to say, you know, I love you guys sticking in there with us. I know we haven't had any guests lately. We have guests lined up, but I'm trying to put off the video guests for as long as I can so we can get a machine upgrade. So once we get that done, then we'll start bringing in the video guests. Until then, we may bring in one or two just audio only, and we'll see how it goes. But the guests are coming back. We just, like I said, we need a machine gun upgrade. But we're doing better. We didn't lose connection once tonight, did we, guys?
Nope, not once. Awesome. I don't think so.
Awesome.
Oh, and just one last thing. If you get a chance, Google Australia creates its new own space agency, because it's happening. Apparently, Australia is getting a space agency now.
We've actually got about, I don't know, 15, 20 articles that we didn't get to tonight. So what we're going to do is hop on over to Facebook and post them in our Facebook group for you so you guys can peruse all the things that we didn't get to talk about, and maybe talk about a little in there. And if for some reason you're listening to this, you're watching this on one of the multiple platforms that we stream on, and you are not a member of that group, you need to go ahead and remedy that because it's dope.
Facebook.com/realitybriefnews. Check us out.
See you next week, guys.
Thanks.